All right. Hi, Lindy. How are you?
I'm good.
I want to thank you for joining me and coming on to tell your story. Um, it was great meeting you at KPL 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was the first time we met. And then again this past KPL. Um, there was, let me see, it was you and Shelly, right? And
Yep.
a bunch of other people, but you two are pretty tight.
Yeah, we're pretty tight.
Hopefully she'll come. Hopefully she'll join us in the chat. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
she probably
Okay.
will. If she's not, as long as she's not working, she probably will.
Right. I'm gonna go through the chat. Say hello. Andy and or Hope are here.
Hey guys.
This is Lynn, 22Q Cat. Hello, everybody. It's Friday the 13th. That's right. And Karen from Low Carb Spin.
Hey guys.
Happy Friday. Hey there. I've got Lisa Ortega. How are you, Lisa? She just fell at work the other day.
Oh no, that's not good.
No, so let us know how you're doing. And they're saying hi. How are you feeling? Hope you're feeling better. And Lisa says, achy and bruised, but doing okay. Well, doing okay is a good thing.
Yes. Could have been a lot worse, I bet.
Oh yeah, I that's the one thing I dread. And I fell last year at the bowling alley. I went to release the ball and it got stuck on my hand and I went frontward.
Ouch.
And oh
Oh,
my God, I was sore for quite a while.
I
Rest
bruise
of
really
it,
easily.
yeah. I've
That would
got
be
one.
black.
I don't know. Right there on my
Yep.
arm. I don't even know where it came from.
I feel
I have
like
no idea.
Lethal Weapon. We're showing our scars.
Yeah, right. It's like, look at this. Lisa said, we have Kay in the house. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
This is Rick from Twin Brook Acres. Amy, hey everyone, it's Friday. Yay!
Hey, Friday.
Hi Kay, hi Rick, hi Amy. And everyone's saying hello. Jennifer Lucas is here. Good evening, Jennifer. Thank you for joining us. Just saying hi. How are you today? Lisa, Jeff Foltz is in the house. Andy saying hi, Cindy and Lindy. Pretty good.
That rhymes.
Cindy and Lindy. Jeff. Nan Catlin's here. Hello. Sherry, hi. How are you? Well, that was good timing. I just got home and we're just on saying hellos, going through the chats. And Rick saying hello. This is James. I find out. And thank you, Jeff. Hit the thumbs up. I appreciate all of that. And Twin. So, Lindy.
Yeah.
I've been trying to catch up on your videos. I think I had told you once in the comments that I wasn't even getting your notifications that you had a video up. So it's like, it's so ridiculous with with all that.
But I've had other people tell me that too.
Yeah, I've heard it on other channels. Like I watch Wendy and Harry all the time, loving it on keto, and she's forever saying, make sure you're still subscribed because people are getting dropped off or they're not getting the notifications, and it's just crazy. It's crazy. It's like it's like a cat and mouse playing tag game here to keep it up.
It's irritating because it's very like it's a lot of work to do all these videos. So it's irritating when YouTube is doing this to us because it's like, really?
Well, I'll tell you when I started my channel last February of 23. And I know I went okay with it. it's like, but it seemed to me like getting that 1,000 subscribers took forever.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I'll say it again, Shelly's here.
Yay.
I just got monetized. Just did.
Yeah, well, I haven't gotten it yet. I don't have enough watch time.
It took a lot. I feel like it took forever, but I think doing the live streams is what helped the most.
Yeah, I need to do more. I was doing them for a while, and then it's just so busy with the grandkids. Is why I haven't, but I need to.
Yeah. Involve them then.
Yeah, I am going to do a rap with me live stream soon for Vlogmas.
Nice.
So probably next week sometime.
Well, I commend you for doing the Vlogmas because I don't think I could ever.
I almost didn't do it this time, and I've done it since 2018. And
wow.
Because it is a lot of work, because you have to plan out what you want to do most days, and be ahead of the game a little bit if you can. But the last couple of days, it's just been that day. But I've got some stuff planned for this weekend. But yeah, it's a lot of work. So it's kind of irritating when the views are not. I think
when I picked up a second live stream doing them with my husband on Wednesdays, I think that's when it really kicked into gear.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Sherry said, listen while I put my groceries away and make supper. What's for supper?
Yeah.
And saying, hey, Shelly says, hi, Cindy and Lindy. I just like that. That is so cool. Ear hustling while I drive home from work. Just be careful while you're driving home from work. What'd you say, Lindy?
Yeah. I said the Cindy and Lindy show.
Yeah. I've never been unsubbed. I guess I'm a lucky one. Yes, you are, because it has happened. Hope is here. Hi, hey, 2 of my faves. And you are too. Hit that like button. Hello, ladies. Tom Garvey, the keto cook. You look way too young to have grandbabies, Lindy.
Oh, thank you. About to have a third one.
Wow, wow, wow. I have 6 from 24 to almost 16.
Well, so that's anyhow, awesome. They're a blessing.
Yeah, they're getting old. Let's see, Sherry, I hope it'll be faux potato soup. Cross your fingers, I don't screw it up. Oh, yeah, she's going to try turnips for potatoes for the first time. That's right. I don't know, Lindy. I don't think. What's her page? And I'll put it on to get ours. I will put her link up as she's telling her story. I'm gonna pop. I'll still be visible, but I'll be on another screen pulling up her channel.
Sounds good.
And Tom saying hi. So, Lindy, what got you started on keto? What health benefits you've seen? Weight loss? Because I've seen the thumbnail now. I was like, the befores and afters are incredible. Yeah. So
yeah.
What? Well, and I know you said you've been doing it since 2018 with YouTube or with Vlogmas things. So
yeah.
Go for it.
So I was paleo before I was keto. I was paleo for about 8 years. And the reason I started paleo is because I have Graves' disease and I have rheumatoid arthritis. And then I went through menopause and like overnight gained 30 more pounds on top of, already being overweight. And a lot of the people in the paleo world were starting to kind of steer towards this thing called keto. And I was like, what is this? What are they talking about? So then I started doing a lot of research, and then I found Dr. Barry, and it sort of just drew me over to that direction. And so I switched over, which it wasn't really a hard switch from paleo to keto as it was to go from the standard American diet to, one of these. I just had to get rid of a couple other things, which was, things like potatoes and, honey, things like that, And so I switched over. It was, I think it was in 2018. 2018, I believe. No, something like that. I was keto for about 6 years before I kind of switched over to carnivore, which was a little over a year ago. Last August was a year doing carnivore. But it's immediately after starting keto, within a couple of weeks, I would have a migraine almost every day. And after about 2 weeks being on keto, they went away. And so now I only have one every now and then. It's usually sinus induced.
Right.
And but that was a big benefit for me. My hands from my rheumatoid, I couldn't even like grate cheese or anything like that. My hands would hurt all the time. Like I just couldn't grip anything. And that went away. And now it only happens when the weather changes here and there, but not near as bad as it was before. The biggest thing is I could get off the couch because I didn't want to get off the couch. All I wanted to do was lay around. I was tired. I had a headache, all of these, other things. And so all of that got better. And then about like a year or so ago, right when I started carnivore, I started to get a headache here and there not every day, but just, so I was like, I want to tweak some things and see what happens, and also my weight loss has been stalled for a while. And I don't have that much more to lose. I want to lose maybe another 20 to 30 pounds. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't, but I would like to. So I thought, you know what, I'll do 90 days of carnivore because Dr. Berry said, give it at least 90 days. So I did that, and then I just kept going, and that's where I am now. I lost 80 plus pounds since I started keto. So even when I get frustrated that I'm kind of been stuck for a while, I'm just like, I lost like another 10 once when I started carnivore. But when I get irritated, I just go back and look at those pictures because I'm like, okay, this is where I started.
I'll tell you, it makes a big difference to have those pictures.
Yeah.
Because I like so many other people, and I've got to acknowledge this really quick. Thank you both so much. Hope and Andy are so grateful for the both of you and so thankful to have you both in our lives. God is good.
Oh, we love you.
For those of you that don't know, when Hope and Andy lost virtually everything in a fire, Lindy is the one that started a GoFundMe page for them that helped them out. That was incredible.
I was just like, I want to do something, and I don't know what else I can do because we live in different states, and I was like, I have to do something. So I was like, I'm doing this.
Yeah, and that's where, I contributed to the GoFundMe, and then I talked to Brian. I said, we got to do something else.
Yeah.
And, and we were able to do so. It's like we had this avenue, and I'm like, all right, let's just go for it and see what happens. And I got to tell you, your coasters turned out so daggone cute.
They are cute. I can't wait for him to open them on Christmas.
I was going to say, if you had them available, I know you put them on the Facebook page. And
yeah.
They're just adorable. But,
well, I was pleased. They look really good.
They do. So anyway.
Well, the reason I chose that picture is because that's our dog Nola, who died 2 years ago, and it broke our hearts. So that's a picture of her and me on the coaster.
It's really cute too. Are you trying to make him cry? Is that the deal? We have this thing. We have this thing, my son and my younger son, he would fill out a Christmas card and write notes or whatever, and just inevitably would sit there and watch me read it, just waiting for the tears to flow. So now I really fight tooth and nail to get him back because he's crazy. Because it doesn't take any much for me, but it takes a lot to get him to cry. So anyway, back to your story. Sorry, I just wanted to acknowledge Hope and Andy. So you were saying.
Yeah, so go ahead.
That's all right. Go ahead. Where you left off.
No, I was just going to say that So I've been carnivore now for over a year. I'm not super strict. I mean, I still like to use sugar-free condiments, and I use spices. Um, but in January, I'm trying to debate either I'm going to just do strict carnivore for January or I'm going to do BBB&E. I'm kind of leaning more towards just strict carnivore because I get bored on BBB&E.
Well, BBB&E is as strict carnivore as you can go
Right.
without
Oh
any
yeah.
without any cream or dairy or any sweeteners at all or anything,
Right.
any other
Right.
meats. It's like that. I did that for 31 days and thought I was never going to get past it because I'm
Yeah.
like, come on.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like I was very, I don't know. It's weird because I just felt so restricted, even though carnivore is restricted anyway. But it's like, I don't know. I was kind of like, okay, I'm done with this. I want to eat other meats and stuff, you know? But so I'm trying to debate what I'm going to do. Since it's World Carnivore Month, I'll probably do one of those two.
Yeah. I try to get into challenges, but it's like Chalk Zero pulls me away. And if I do anything, it will include keto chow regardless, because like if I do an
Yeah,
egg fast, the next time I do an egg
right,
fast, it's going to be with keto chow because you can't get enough protein just
yeah,
eating eggs. You
right.
can't unless you eat a dozen eggs at a sitting,
Right, right.
a couple
Well,
times
I
a day.
still I still include keto chow here and there in my carnivore diet anyway, just
Mm-hmm.
because and I'm not a big sweet person. Like I don't need to have sweets all the time, but when I do want something, that's what I use. I'll make ice cream with it, or like that pie I made yesterday, and that pie was so good, y'all. Y'all have to make that.
Which pie was it?
The I made a pie with the peanut butter chocolate keto chow.
Sounds good. That's supposed to have been on your Vlogmas from
Yeah,
yesterday. I haven't gotten up that far. I haven't.
you're
I'm
catching up.
trying. I'm getting there. Hope says, Lindy, how did you get started with 75 hard?
Well, one of my friends, another friend that I met on Instagram, like I met Shelly, except for I haven't met this one in person yet. But she would do it all the time, and I was like, I would always cheer her on. I'm like, oh, you're doing, that's awesome. And she's like, you should do it. And I was like, and then Shelly, me, our friend John, Rashana, and Nicole Burgess, and a few other people, we all did it together the first time I did it. And that's kind of got started. And then I did it again the next year. And then the year after that, I did it, but I did the whole year plan, which is called the Live Hard program, where you do 75 hard. Then there's a phase 1, a phase 2, and a phase 3. In which in 2025, I'm gonna do that again, the whole year long thing. But I didn't want to do it this year. I didn't start in time this year. I don't want to do it during the holidays. And I know everybody who's the diehards or 75 harders are like, oh, you're not, you need to be tough and do it during the holidays, and I just don't want to. So I'm first.
I'll tell you, there's no room on this channel, for dogmatic one-way people.
Exactly.
It's aggravating.
Yep.
And he said, lion
It's
diet
worse.
is worse than beef, butter, bacon, and eggs.
I
There you
bet.
go. That meat and salt and water, that would be like, hello.
No, I lived in New Orleans part of my life, and I got to have some spice.
Mhm.
So I could have just do the salt.
The only really, when I make steaks, I use Redmond seasoning salt, and that's pretty
Mhm.
much it. If I make pork, I have pork barrel barbecue spice that I put on like pork chops or pork loin or whatever. But that's pretty much it. And I have a ton of spices. I just don't
Yeah,
use them often. But but yeah, it's like it's all good. Whatever works for you, that's what's the best
exactly.
thing for you.
Exactly. I
Amy
told
said,
that to
trying
Lindy.
beef, butter, bacon, and eggs first of year. You can do it if you got your mindset right. You can do it, because that was the only time on my thing that I gave up diet soda. The only time through 4 years now is that 31 days of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. I didn't take a drop of diet soda.
Well, my biggest thing too with that is that BBB and E, you can't have coffee, can you? So I don't. I
I
don't
can't
know.
imagine Joe and Rachel not having coffee, especially Rachel.
I thought I remembered her not having it, or them not having
I
it when
think
they
she
did it.
said they had one coffee experience a day.
Okay, maybe. Well,
I
I
think
could do
that's what
that.
it was.
I gave it up for a month one time, and I said I'd never do it again. I
Well,
thought
that's like my diet soda, because I don't drink coffee or tea. That's my
that's
my
your
drink
coffee.
of choice. That's it.
Yeah.
That's where I get any bit of caffeine from. Except I've gotten used to Alani's, and those are good.
Yeah, my husband drinks Rains. That's his coffee. He doesn't drink any coffee. He'll drink hot tea, but that's it.
Yeah. Jeff has a question. What part of
Okay.
75 hard is the most difficult for you?
Phase 1, because you have to take a 5-minute cold shower. I think you do that in phase 3 as well. But phase 1 is hard because that's the first time you add that in. So you're kind of like, oh, but it's only for 30 days. But to me, once you've done it more than one time, it gets, I don't want to say easy, because it's not easy. It's hard to get those 2 workouts in every day with all the other things going on in your life, plus your other tasks, and, drinking your water and taking your progress picture and, you're reading your book, all the things. But it's mentally a little bit easier, I think, each time, because you're like prepared more for it, since you know what's
Cold
coming.
shower? That right there would leave me out of doing that, because I could be in a nice hot shower and gradually get the water down to where it's cool.
Yeah.
And I might stand there for about a minute, and then I'm done. I'm all done.
And I've done phase 1 in the summertime, and I've done phase 1 in January. I can tell you that the cold shower hits different in January than it does in August.
No doubt. Even in Texas, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Cold shower, Lynn says, I'm out. Oh my goodness, I couldn't. It's like doing that cold plunge at Hack Your Health. There is no way on God's earth that I would do that. No. That's like, oh heck no. I don't care how good it's supposed to be for your body.
Yeah.
Greg says cold shower, nah. That's why they invented water heaters. That I can't. Oh, dang. So, Andy, Mr. 75 hard yourself before you got hurt, were you doing the cold showers? That's what I want to know.
No, he wasn't to that yet, unless he wanted to do it. Yeah, and in the 75 hard, the first part of it, you don't have to do them.
Whew, got lucky there, bud. So, with losing the 80 pounds, and how is all the like Graves' disease and all that? How's all that going? I know you said the migraines were gone after keto, except for sinuses.
My hormones are more balanced. I mean, I do take compounded hormones, but my hormones are more balanced. My thyroid's more balanced. Before keto, my thyroid, because I had so when I don't know if you've ever talked to somebody who's had Graves' disease, but the difference in Graves' disease and Hashimoto's is that Graves is a overactive thyroid. So what they do is they go and pretty much kill your thyroid with radioactive iodine, and then you have to take medicine the rest of your life. So there's no like going into remission like there is for people with Hashimoto's from diet and stuff. But before I started keto, I was having symptoms of both like hypothyroid and hyperthyroid, some of the same. They were kind of merging, some of them. And my meds were constantly having to be adjusted because I was all over the place. Like I'd get used to it, and then my body would get used to whatever level of medication I was on, and then it would, in a couple months, have to be changed because it just wasn't working. But yeah, so it really helped with a lot of the symptoms from that and sort of mellow out a lot.
Well, I had Allison Johnson on last Friday, and she had the same hyperthyroidism. She talked about the surgery and how it deadens your thyroid.
Yeah, and it
And
messes everything else up.
right.
Your whole body, your metabolism,
Yeah, if you didn't see that, that was, you and her have something in common there. It was pretty interesting. Woo, dang. I can't imagine. I mean, I had enough going on, but
yeah.
Sherry says I could cold plunge in my pool, but that's a big nope. Andy says, I got up to 46 days before I had to stop. How is your back doing, Andy? And the cold shower, I'll just put my toes in the water at the beach.
You did awesome, Andy. I was so proud of you.
Yes. Between that and pickleball every day and until you got hurt. Yes. Dustin just dropping in to say hello to both of you amazing ladies. I'm a guest on a podcast tonight, so I can't stay. Well, boo. That's a bunch of boo. I won't finish that because I say it a lot. But yeah, it's I can't. Allison, yeah, her story was incredible, and she talked a lot about the hyperthyroidism and stuff. I don't think she mentioned grapes, but she had Meniere's.
Okay.
She had the tinnitus and vertigo and all of that, plus the thyroid issue. Boo to you too. You're so nice, Dustin. But he's always messing with me. So what? Okay, so coming up in January, you're going to do carnivore, strict carnivore.
Yeah.
I mean, you're giving up your spices if you're going strict.
I'm not. Well, when I say strict, I mean I'm not going to have like my condiments, my sugar-free sauces. I'll probably still do spice, but I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to be drinking any wine or anything else like that.
There you go. There you go. So that'll be different. See, every time, like I was saying, every time I try to challenge myself, it's like, no, I can do so many different, like week-long things, like the egg fast and things like that. The 31-day beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, I think, just destroyed me from any other extended challenges.
Yeah. I think the thing that's worked best for me is when I started carnivore, I said that I'm going to still have, when I go on a vacation or birthday or like the holidays for Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, all that, those types of things, I'm going to eat keto because I want to be happy and enjoy like the celebration of everything, but not go off being ketogenic, just, sticking to the keto or ketovore or whatever. Because to me, that makes it more sustainable for me. It gives me something to look forward to, for Christmas. I'm going to have, whatever keto sides or whatever keto.
It's like Dr. Barry says, he cheats on carnivore with keto.
Right.
Basically.
Could be doing much worse.
You could obviously do much worse. I go and it's like once in a while we'll go to the cookout restaurant, and they have the best bacon wraps. And I know it's tortillas that we shouldn't have, but they're so good. And if that's all I do, going off plan,
yeah,
and then I'm right back on track. I don't care,
Yeah. Everybody's got to do what works for them, for sure.
Yeah. And it's like what you had said, it's like I am right there with you. I would like to lose 25 more pounds. But if I don't, I know I am way healthier than I was 4 years ago when I
Oh, for
started
sure.
this.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
I think my
I'm not at
mom
my
had,
lowest, that's for sure. I was there when I was really sick last year and I had COVID and I had strep and couldn't eat anything. That's when I
yeah.
got to my lowest. And since then, it's like 20 pounds have popped back on. And it's like, okay.
I think my mom has finally realized that this is how it's going to be, because she used to ask me all the time, how long are you going to do this keto thing? Or how long are you going to do this carnivore thing? Like it's a diet, you follow it, then you get off of it. Like most people in America do.
Right.
And then they gain the weight back or whatever, or start feeling crappy again. And I told her, I was like, I'm not doing anything, changing anything. This
That's
is
right.
it. This is for life.
Yeah. Does your husband do keto with you or
He
carnivore?
he's I kind of like to say he's like Autumn's husband. He's keto adjacent, Richard, because he eats for the most part low carb. I say that because he likes bread, but he'll eat the keto bread or whatever that's not keto, but but he eats everything I make. And I pack his lunch and all that, but he eats other things when he's other places. So
Right.
I don't think he will ever be on board with being 100% like strict keto or carnivore. Definitely not carnivore, but he just doesn't have the desire to do it yet. Maybe he will, but I don't know.
Is he healthy?
Pretty healthy. He could be better. He could be better if he was doing this, with us. But I can't. You can't force everybody. They got to
Oh
make their own.
no, you
Yeah.
you definitely can't. I have family members. I have sons that really need to be real strict keto or
Mhm.
carnivore. For one of them, is the one son's very sick, and it goes in one ear right out the other, and
Mhm.
if it even gets in that first ear, it's like you
Right.
can be talking to deaf ears,
Yeah.
and that's the aggravating part when someone that you love is very ill and
Yes.
they still won't listen. It's like, oh my goodness.
Now my mom is not keto, but she has started watching Dr. Barry. So
Well, he's
you know,
easy to watch.
yeah. Well, she's got kidney issues, so but she likes to watch them. She thinks she'll tell me all the time, "Oh, Dr. Barry said blah 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 blah" or something or whatever. So, I think it's harder to change your ways when you're 80, or 82. She's 82, but she does act like she thinks he knows what he's talking about and he makes sense, and she likes to watch him. So maybe she'll, you know,
Mhm. Well, 82 is 82, but he's easy on the eyes. So
I'm sure.
my husband hears me say that all the time and he just looks at me. He's like, whatever. But if he's back out there watching, it's okay.
That's
But
funny.
yeah, it's I just sent a Dr. Barry short to this girl that I know from the bowling alley who was just diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer.
Mm,
They found also spots on her lung, her liver, a spot between her chest and her rib cage.
mm,
And he had just put up a 2-minute video about cancer. And I'm like, I'll send it to her.
yeah.
I was so aggravated because when they found out about her, they were collecting up. They wanted to get a big goodie bag for her, of things that she could use. And they come around to the table like they're saying, like hard candy and all this and this. I said, no. I
Mm,
said, if you want to help her, you will not give her anything with sugar in it.
right.
And they looked at me like I had 3 heads. Like,
Oh, I
We're
know.
going to give her whatever she's going to want. Some, if she has any chance of survival, because it is
Mhm.
advanced,
Yeah.
she can't be having sugar. And
Mm-mm.
I was like, they were so aggravated with me by the time I was like,
Well,
and I
good for
barely knew
you.
this woman, but it's just in general,
Yeah.
I said, listen, I said, cancer feeds off of sugar. If you want it to
Hmm.
grow, then keep eating it. If you want to try
Right.
to stop it, you got to stop. And
Yeah.
so if you really want to help her, that's the way to do it.
Did you see? I think Dr. Baker and a couple other people have posted this article about how they're linking seed oils to colon cancer.
I did see a little bit of some little snippet. I haven't seen any of the videos, but I did see something about that today. Karen says it's a helpless feeling when you see family members eating unhealthy when you know what eventually leads to. You must have to keep praying that they'll figure it out.
Yeah. I
That's
think
true.
if they could make an actual keto bread that tastes like bread, I think my husband would be more on board. He loves bread. Like
Mhm.
that's his favorite food group, bread. When we were dating, we would go to I can't think of the name of the restaurant for lunch. We'd go through the drive-through and he would order a dozen rolls just to eat.
Mhm. Bread
And
was a big thing for me too. Sweets also, but
Brandy's, that
bread
was
was big.
it. But he says that keto people that make keto bread, the the store bought kind or whatever, even the homemade kind, he hasn't tasted what he likes. But he said people who make keto bread don't like bread because this is not bread. It does not taste like bread.
Well, I'll tell you, does he like rye bread?
Yeah,
And I'm gonna plug him again because Low Carb Spin, they did a faux rye bread that is fantastic.
I'll have to look at it.
It's really good, and I have made it several times. I've tweaked it where they use Karen. you know, I love you guys. They use real cream cheese and real sour cream, where I use cream cheese powder, sour cream powder, and then whole egg powder instead of the real eggs, and all egg
So
white powder instead of egg whites. But shameless plug, Cindy.
I'll have to go check
But
it out.
I'll tell you, it is absolutely incredible. And before they put up a video with their recipes, and they have several bread recipes. They have one for sourdough, they have one for faux rye bread, they have one for brown bread. They test this repeatedly before they put a recipe up there, and they are diligent about this. I've gotten to meet them. We actually met them at Hack Your Health, her and her sister Therese. Debbie and I did. And then we talked them into going to KPL. And it was just great. I mean, the four of us just clicked. It
Yeah,
was instantly. It's like you and Shelly. It was just so instant that,
yeah.
it was great. And they, they do. They work hard. They will make that recipe 15 times before they put it up.
That's
And
awesome.
I kid you not, that's how good it is. Is they wouldn't put it up if it wasn't. And
Well,
it's amazing. If he likes rye bread, that's the one to try. The faux rye bread.
okay. I've been making the Courtney Luna carnivore bread, and I really like it for me. Um, Especially when you toast it, it tastes really, really good.
Now, have you made Victor's carnivore bread or
Mm-mm.
Victor's bread? I don't know if it's it's supposed to be carnivore. I made
I
that
don't. I
once.
don't.
He
I haven't
uses
tried that.
it's good. It has a good. It's like an artisan loaf.
Oh, okay.
It uses 4 cups of pork rind crumbs.
I'll have to
And
check that
when
out.
he made it on his video, he used 2 sticks of butter. And I did it exactly the way he did in his video. And I can tell you, I could wring the butter out of that. I could just take a slice of the bread and just wring the butter because it was so much. It was great, like with French toast, or to grill it like a grilled cheese.
Oh, yeah.
because there was so much butter in it that you didn't have to
Oh,
do
I bet.
anything else.
Yeah, I bet.
But I think if I make it again, I'm gonna tweak it really good. I have a keto baker here in my town that makes the most amazing white keto bread, and she also has sourdough. I told her she needs to make and ship because she would be very popular. But
Is this,
yeah, that's like
is she in Vegas?
she is in close to Vegas, I believe. I think she's actually
Okay.
in Arizona.
Oh, okay. I went to
Sherry, you're
the,
going to kill me because I know I just mailed you a package and I can't even remember.
where you
I've
mailed
mailed
it
out so
to.
many packages. I'm sorry.
I said, well, you can't remember where you mailed it to.
I can't. I've mailed out so many.
Well, there's a really great bakery, keto bakery in Vegas, is what I was asking.
Nice. I always use Chris Cooking Nashville's white bread recipe, the one with whipping cream. It's the best I've ever made. That's keto. Does not have any styrofoam taste.
Yeah, I used to make Maria's bread all the time, but now that I've had this other bread, I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever make that bread again because I just
Well,
love this one.
I would. When when Maria was at KPL last year, and she was throwing the rolls.
Mm.
Somebody next to me, either my sister or my niece, caught one, and I tasted it. And I mean, Maria's okay. I like Maria, but that was nasty. I just did not. I did not like it at all. I could not. So I've never made her cloud bread. No, I've made Neely's bread recipes. I've made Karen and Teresa's. I still haven't made Chris's, but watching this from Lynn, I'm gonna have to try.
Yeah, you could
Yes,
do a
I
whole
love
video
Victor's
on
artisan bread too. It's
different kinds
great.
of breads and compare them.
Yeah, I can't make that many at one time. But yeah, I make a loaf of bread, and typically because it's just Brian and I, but we don't eat it every day, and it lasts for so long, and then it's like, oh, okay, we need to eat this really.
Yeah.
See, I was right. Arizona.
Okay.
She had told me we had talked, and she had told me she had never tried keto chow, and she
Oh,
couldn't afford it. I sent her some keto chow.
well, that was great of you.
Well, that's
Gonna be
that's
in
how I
love with
got
it now.
started. That's how I got started with it. I was watching Wendy and Harry faithfully, and just felt a connection with Wendy. Just without even meeting her. And
Yeah.
I mentioned to her, I said, "Man," I said, "keto chow sounds awesome." She sent me some. That was the beginning of my downfall. I had keto chow to Chris's bread a lot. Now, Lynn, if you're tweaking Chris's recipes, that's something. Have you made Chris's mashed potatoes?
I have that video saved in my playlist, I watched it and I wanted to go back and make it. And I saw another recipe similar that I had saved too. And I was like, that sounds really interesting. I want to try to make those. But I just haven't had the time.
Right. The only that with the potatoes, I'll tell you, I made his initial recipe and I made his second version. I made the second one for Thanksgiving. It was me and Brian and Deb came up. I liked the first version better, unless I did something wrong with the second version. But it was easier than the first. But the only time consuming thing is cooking the egg whites down to no liquid and making sure they don't brown while you're
Right.
cooking them.
Well, I
Because you're
watched
cooking them
another
in
video
butter.
that made Chris's recipe, and she did that. She said she got hers a little too brown, but when she mixed it all together in the blender, it looked white, so it came out fine.
Right. Oh, I'm sure I had some brown eggs in there, and they oh my goodness, my husband was like, "Oh, these are so good," Both times it was good,
Well, my
but
husband
I
gets
don't
it on
know.
cauliflower, so I'm gonna have to try that.
I'm sorry.
My husband gets tired of cauliflower things, so I'm gonna have to try those mashed potatoes.
They're good. Like I said, just allow yourself some time for those eggs because that has to be a continuous moving
Right.
around, process on low heat. So it just takes a little time, but it's worth it. They are so good. When we had leftovers both times, and I would make a potato patty and cook it in butter,
Oh,
fry it in
yeah.
butter. Oh my goodness, so good. They really are good. He's a genius in the kitchen. That man is. And she sent me a whole bunch to try. I'm currently, as we speak, making the potato soup with turnips. I was going to do it yesterday, but just as I was leaving to go to the store, we had a downpour. It's only a little rain.
We're supposed to get some tomorrow.
But yeah, it's really good. And his pancakes, holy mackerel! I made those the first time I made those. Brian tasted them. He said, "Now these are pancakes," and it's just incredible. So, Lindy, so you've gone through. I want to get back to your story. You've gone through the weight loss. The Graves is gone or under control
Under control.
because of the thyroid thing.
Yeah.
The migraines are virtually gone unless they're sinus. Is there any other, not that that's not enough?
Right.
Were there any other health issues that you had that you don't have? Or medications that you were on that you don't have to take?
I wasn't on any other medications, just hormones and my thyroid medicine. I did have a lot more breakouts on my skin before I did start keto, so that's probably hormonal too. So it's probably because I'm more balanced. And trying to think, one of the first things I noticed that I told Dr. Barry about because it was so weird was that my eyelashes started growing again after I started keto.
Nice.
And I just thought that was the strangest thing.
Yeah.
And but yeah, and there's no other medications or anything that I got off of because I wasn't really on any others.
That's
now
great.
I did take. I've talked about this on my channel. I did take the compounded version of Mounjaro and Ozempic for a little bit, just because my doctor said my metabolism and my insulin resistance is so messed up from my thyroid problems that she wanted just to add that extra tool in my toolbox. So I took that for probably like 6 months, but it really wasn't doing anything for me. And it's very expensive, so I just got off of it. Just sticking to the strike, eating this way.
The food will make you healthy.
Yeah, and I think she said that probably why I wasn't seeing much results from it like other people do is because people who get on that, for the most part, not everybody, but for the most part, a lot of people that get on those medications are coming from the standard American diet. And then they're getting on the medications and they're eating less, so they are losing weight, but they're not necessarily they didn't go from a healthy diet onto that, and she said, so my body probably was just like, yeah, you don't need this.
Back in the day, I can remember people taking speed to lose weight.
Oh yeah. Oh, I did all of that. I took the Fen or whatever it was. I took all of the things that came along, all the years of my adulthood.
Yeah, just trying to lose the weight, and then you get off of it and it goes back, it comes back, and then some. Yes. That's that vicious roller coaster ride that everybody that's been overweight, I believe, has probably been on, because it's horrible. And it makes you feel like, or I should say, it made me feel like, you can't do anything right, because here you're losing, you feel great, and then it's gaining and gaining and gaining, and it's going further uphill than it went downhill.
Right. And it's just
It's horrible. It makes you feel bad because it's like, why can't I do this and stick with it?
Right, because I've done so many things like before keto and all that, and before paleo. I did Weight Watchers, I did HCG, I did, and every time I did one of those, I would lose weight. But then once you stop doing them, like you said, that's when you start, you gain them back. I did Fen. I'm sure I did Jenny Craig one time, just all of those things.
And then the lean cuisine meals that you get at the stores are better for you. And I know I had gastric bypass in 2007. And even after that, and I've talked about this plenty of times on here, they in our support meetings, they said, when you do this, you got to change how you're eating for it to be successful.
Right.
Instead of white potatoes, eat sweet potatoes. Instead of white rice, eat brown rice. Instead of white breads, eat the whole grain breads. So everything they're telling us to do, I did. I switched pastas to whole grain pastas. I did all of that. But what they fail to mention is all that stuff still has carbs.
Mm-hmm.
All of it is great. And I lost 90 pounds pretty quick.
Yeah.
But eating that food, that weight comes back on, and it just crept right back up to where I put on about 70 of what I lost, if not more.
Yeah.
So when I started keto in 2020, I was at almost 300 pounds. And in 22 months, lost 100. And it was like, finally. And it was easy for me.
Yeah. I've never felt deprived since I started keto. Even with carnivore, I don't feel deprived because I love steak. Steak is my favorite food. Like, even if I wasn't doing keto, like if I was a standard American diet person, I would still be eating steak. Like, steak has always been my favorite meal. Next to, that steak, and then Mexican would be like right underneath. So it's like, I don't feel deprived. I feel like I eat some pretty good stuff.
Right. I've mentioned when I do my videos of what I eat for the week. I have mentioned showing some of the plates, and Lynn has commented, I don't know how anybody can say this is not sustainable when you've got a plate with eggs and bacon and those potato patties made with Chris's potatoes, or faux potatoes, if you want to call them that, whatever. It's all so good. And unless people are trying too hard and are really overthinking it, because it really can be simple, and which would make it sustainable. Because if you overthink something, you're screwed, because that just ain't going to work. Sherry says, the rain here will sweep you away. Monsoon, although that is not it was just rain. If I can, I stay home. I get it. Jeff says, what does a day of eating look like for you?
Depends on what. Some days I don't eat until like lunchtime, and some days I want breakfast. Like this morning, I woke up really early, so I was hungry for breakfast. Usually my first meal, even if it's at lunch, even if I don't eat till noon, is usually some sort of breakfast food, eggs, bacon, something like that. And then if I don't eat till noon, sometimes I want something around 2:00 or so, or 3, like lunchy, but then it ends up being some sort of like a little snacky type of thing, like chicken salad with carnivore crisps, or, something like that, or, just meat and cheese, or something like that. And then dinner, it varies, like, from, what last night I had stew meat made in the air fryer. Andy's got me hooked on that. And
it's good.
And I had made red beans and rice for my husband and my mother-in-law, because I made some to take to to a family the other day, who had just lost their 12-year-old son. And Matt goes, you never make me red beans and rice anymore. Beans or rice. And I said, I was like, okay, I'll make, so I made them that, and I ate the stew meat. But it just depends. Sometimes it's a steak for dinner. Sometimes, today I had some chicken thighs for lunch, and I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off this morning, so I just picked up a McDonald's breakfast sandwich without the bread. But most of the time I'm at home, so I'll make whatever it is. But
yeah,
and butter, butter on everything. And I usually cook with butter. Sometimes I'll use tallow or bacon grease, but most of the time I just use butter.
Sherry, so my cousin also had the surgery, the bypass. And no matter what I say to her, she says, well, the doctor says to eat the same way as you, Cindy. I could talk to him blue in the face. It's so frustrating. Sherry, I got to ask, does she ever have any hypoglycemic episodes? Because I did, eating that way.
I find that a lot of people after they have that surgery don't eat enough protein. When I see what they're eating, I know they can't eat a lot after they have that. I would just worry about them losing muscle.
Right after the surgery, I think this was back in 2007 now. For the first week, you couldn't have any. And then you were supposed to go with the 100% whey protein powder and make shakes. If you wanted to try to eat a food, you had to puree it. I did that one time. I pureed some chicken. It tasted all right, but it looked so nasty. It was like, nope, ain't happening. James says, nothing like furs, whiskers tickle. Stew meat rocks.
Yeah,
cooks so fast too. Yeah. I'm having trouble staying on plan. You got this, Nan. You can do this. It's all in your mindset, and having the right mindset is. But if you need anything, you've got you can text me anytime. Message me anytime you want. Because that's what community is so good for. Sorry, Lindy, what?
Is she doing keto or carnivore?
I think she does keto. No, she just learned to eat through it. She eats every 2 hours all day and night. It's really sad. Although she didn't gain back all the weight, she gained back a lot. Send her to my channel, Sherry. I know it's tough, Nan, but stick with it. You'll thank yourself later.
Yeah.
Like I said, just message me anytime.
If I were her, I would just try to find whatever it is that's keeping her from being on plan, like whatever food that is. If there's like a trigger food, I know some people it's sweets, some people it's bread, some people, just start making recipes till you find the one that you like to replace that with, because that way you at least feel like you have something.
Yeah. It's, I don't, like I said, if I go out, typically it's meat. Once in a great while, a side salad, because I don't eat a whole lot of vegetables at all. But lately, if I go out somewhere, I may get a quesadilla. And like I said, it's the wraps. If that's the worst thing I'm doing, hey, there's far worse things. Now, last Sunday, and it'll be out on my video if I ever get it done, we decided, what the heck? We went to Lee's Chicken. And after we ordered, we found out we could order roasted chicken.
Oh,
it would just take about 45 minutes. So if you have a Lee's in your area, you can order. I would call ahead and order roasted chicken, and they'll make it for you.
Do that. You can do that at Cane's. You can ask for naked chicken, and they'll make it without the breading.
Yeah, but we didn't get the crispy, but we got it was fried. We got 8 pieces. We didn't get any sides, and we each ate 4 pieces and was done with it and walked out of the restaurant. And I didn't hurt from it. Nothing.
That's good.
And my husband was fine. His sugars went up a little bit, but he didn't do enough carbs in his insulin pump
Mhm.
because they gave us 2 extra pieces in our 8-piece, and he ate them all. She won't. She doesn't do the computer. We don't live near each other, unfortunately. When we're together, she eats my food and loves it, but won't do it at her home. I am so sorry, but like we said, you can only talk to them. You can't make them do it. So
Right.
one day she may wake up. Because trust me, my sister was 3 months on me to get started with this before I actually jumped on board. 3 months of listening to her. In our sister chat, we have 2 other sisters, so there's a 4-way sister chat that goes. And when she found keto, it was mainly for her daughter who had just been diagnosed with fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver. And Debbie told her daughter, he said, if you do this, I'll do it with you. So they started it. And Debbie was having a little twinge in her knee. Within a week, it stopped.
Yeah.
Right. And then Amy, her fatty liver went away. It wasn't long, but she was really strict. But for 3 months, they started in June, and I didn't start till the end of September. So it's like once a week she would throw something in this sister chat. Oh, we should all do this together. Da 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 da. And I'm like, oh my God. It was relentless, and I thank her every day now. So
That's awesome.
But yeah. So was there anybody, I know you started, was there anybody that talked to you about it when you found it, or did you come across it on your own? Or
I just came across it from the paleo primal community. I was really big into Mark Sisson and a couple of others that I would read their books and watch their videos and stuff. And then it somehow just found Dr. Barry, and that's where it really started. I started watching his videos and just basically did everything he said.
Yeah, that's that's the first person that she had sent me videos to watch, and then from there it just skyrocketed. So many in the community.
Yeah, I really related to him because he was paleo before as well, and so I really related to that, and being from the South and that kind of thing. So
well, yeah, he talks in his book about how he was paleo, he did Mediterranean, he tried all these other things until he found keto, and then he talks about how his patients were coming in and asking him, what are you doing? Because it's working.
Right. I'm thankful that I go to a nurse practitioner instead of an MD because the one that I found is wonderful, and she's keto, and so she's very supportive of this of keto and carnivore, and so I really, really trust her. But right now she's in Saudi Arabia because she's in the military, and they just sent her over there for 9 months. I was like, no, you can't go to Saudi Arabia.
You got to come back.
She's still on my prescription, so it's okay.
Right. That's like my doctor, she's an APRN, and she knows what I do. She doesn't do it, but she supports me in it.
That's good.
And the only doctor I really had is when we first moved here that I really didn't like, and it turns out he's had success with keto, but he would never say that.
Yep. Well, friend, my son's wife, her brother, I found out over, when they were here for Thanksgiving, he's the one that owns the Christmas tree farm. He found out he had Lyme disease, and he's apparently had it for years and didn't know what he had, and has felt, terrible for years. And the doctor that he's going to for the Lyme disease put him on carnivore. And I don't know if he's going to do it for life, but he's on it right now. So I was like, well, that's awesome to hear. The doctor is telling you to go carnivore.
Right. You don't hear it very often, for sure.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I mean, and I started going to a nurse practitioner because I went to an endocrinologist for years for my thyroid. And every time I would go to the endocrinologist, I would get, when I would say stuff like, I don't feel good, I can't lose any weight, whatever I do, the scale doesn't move. Well, you must not be doing what you're supposed to be doing. Or you must, just never really trying to help me or think outside the box, always wanting to put me on like synthetic medications and big pharma, all the things. So I had a friend tell me about going that they went to a nurse practitioner, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try that. So I went to one this before we moved back here, and it was like a whole different world. Like I actually felt like I was being listened to.
Right.
So never going back to an endocrinologist.
Oh, endocrinologists are the worst. Let me tell you. My husband's in New Hampshire, as he's type 1 diabetic. His doctor there, oh, diabetics need to eat carbs. And Brian would say, no, we don't. No, we don't. And right around that time, I remember reading an article where they wanted diabetics to have 200 carbs a day, if not per meal. I forget how it was worded.
Right.
But I'm like, that's absurd. That's
Look
just so
at
ridiculous.
what they feed them in the hospital. Somebody posted today what their hospital food was supposed to be. But I remember when my dad was in the hospital before he passed away, was diabetic, and the crap that they were feeding him, I was just like, why? Tell me how all this is good for somebody who is diabetic.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, when Brian has to have procedures done, like he's had his cataracts taken care of, he's had other things, but you know how when you're coming out of anesthesia, they bring you something to drink and something to snack on. I'll tell him, I bring something for him to snack on that I know he can eat without it messing up his blood sugars. You can give him his diet drink, but don't bring him any juice.
I'd be
and
having
I'll bring his snack.
and some steak or something if I was in the hospital.
Yeah, it's crazy because that's nuts. Charlie said, I had a story posted on Mark's Daily Apple a while ago. Sisson had a way of explaining things well back when blogs were cool.
Yeah, he did.
Hello, Mary. And better late than never.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. The stuff that they give. I saw that post, and I can't remember whose it was, but I saw what you're talking about.
It was in Rachel and Joe's group, but I can't remember for sure.
Right. It's crazy, the stuff they bring out. It might have been Yvonne, because her husband just had
surgery,
a kidney transplant.
Oh, okay.
And they have to stay in Houston, close to the hospital, until I think either right before or right after Christmas, in case there's any complications.
Okay, well that makes sense. But the food,
In some jurisdictions, it's law that they have to feed your carbs in a hospital setting. Well, you know what? They can give them to me. They can't make me eat them.
That's right.
Hi, Deb or OJ. These people I found through Tuber chat.
Okay.
But yeah, it's crazy. I was there one day with Brian, and they brought him a thing of juice and some cheese or peanut butter crackers. I'm like, no, he's not drinking that. He's not eating those.
Yeah.
I said, did you not read his chart that he's diabetic? The juice is sugar. It's going to raise his blood sugars. And the peanut butter crackers are carby, which turn to sugar, which is going to raise his blood sugar. So no, he's not going to do it. Oh, it's OJ. See, I don't know which one it's going to be, so I just cover it both. Stood up after working out today, and my knee went out. Uh-oh. Didn't wrench, twist, or pull it. I simply stood up and icing it all day. Oh, man. I hope you feel better.
Yes, I was.
I think I saw her, but didn't make the connection. She had a YouTube channel. She does, and I'll post it again for you. And there you have it. PaleoBarbie does keto.
Yeah, I was there.
How did you come up with that? I get the paleo part. How did you come up with Barbie?
Oh, well, actually the PaleoBarbie name I've had for years before I even did paleo or anything. I studied paleontology and geology in college. That's what my degree is in. And so when Yahoo Mail first came out, I needed to figure out what I was going to make my email address. And all the rock and fossil names, or like everything I tried was all taken. And I also collect Barbies. And so my husband was like, "Well, do PaleoBarbie because you like Barbies and you like paleontology." So I combined the two, and then it
Nice.
kind of was like meant to be, I guess, since I eventually became paleo. So that was where that came from.
That's pretty wild. I often wondered about the Barbie thing.
Yeah, got two Barbies sitting over here. But I
I have
have a
one for sale.
Barbie. I don't know if you saw my Barbie Christmas tree, but I also have like boxes of Barbies out in the garage that I don't have on display because I don't have any place to put them right now. So someday I'll have a shelf.
I have one for sale. It's in the box. Little damage to the box, but the Barbie has never been out of the box. Lindy, you were at KPL. Sorry I missed you.
Well, you'll have to catch me at the next one, whenever that will be.
2026. Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, I hope. I mean,
I know.
I don't know that I'll go to another one since that one's not happening this next year, just because I probably should save some money. But I want to get down to Florida.
I do too.
Down there, but I really don't know if I can go to Florida and not go to Disney World. So I mean, I gotta really, save some money.
Yeah. Charlie said, I pick up my daughter's Barbies from the floor nightly. Great form of exercise.
My granddaughter is just, I cannot get either of them, my grandson or my granddaughter, into playing with toys all the time. She is just, I've got my Barbie house in here for her, and she's got some Barbie furniture in it and a few Barbies, but she just is not interested in it like I was at her age. All they want to do is watch YouTube videos of people playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
Or listen to Taylor Swift. Which I like Taylor.
Karen wants to know, is your YouTube channel about your journey, or do you make recipes, etc.?
Both. I do recipes. I used to do a lot of recipes. I have a lot of them on there. But I have my grandchildren like 5 days a week, 6 days a week sometimes. And half the week, a lot of times they're spending the night. So I haven't been doing as many recipes as I used to, but I still do them. But I do what I eat in a days. Yes. What I eat in a days, I do grocery hauls, I do recipes, I do all kinds of stuff. Right now I'm doing a little bit of everything since it's Vlogmas.
Yep. Mary says, Lindy has some great recipes.
I do have a cookbook. It's linked under my videos in my link tree. I sell it on Etsy. It's a PDF that you can print. Or just keep on your computer if you don't want to print. There
you go. Yeah, a cookbook out? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's been out a while. It's mostly keto. There's a few paleo-ish recipes in there too, but it's mostly keto.
You have to share that link with me, and I'll put it in the description of this video.
Okay, let me grab it.
As well as any of your other social media that you're on.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram.
Yeah, just send those all to me, and I'll put them in the description later on.
Afterwards? Okay.
Yeah. Sherry says, I couldn't go to Florida and not go to Disney World. I collect Mickey Mouse. I had annual pass when I lived in Cali. Wow. Yes, thanks, Cindy. Yes, you're welcome, Karen. But yeah, I'll hook all that up.
Yeah, I'll send it to you after. I have it on Etsy just like you guys do. It was easier. I don't really haven't had the time to learn how to do a website yet. Like Andy is just so tech savvy. So originally
I got Andy stumped though.
I sell it on Etsy, so right now, but someday it'll be more somewhere else.
Etsy can be a pain
Just
sometimes.
like I said, very time consuming.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I need to figure out how to do my keto chow link. I don't know how to do that. Everybody's already done it to theirs, but I just don't know what I'm doing.
To link it to your videos?
No, I know how to do that. I just don't know how to shorten it. You know how you can put it in those websites that shorten it from what they originally gave us?
Oh, I don't know how to shorten it. Mine is ketochow.xyz/ref/ my name.
Yeah, mine's longer than that.
Wow.
So I just don't know how to shorten it.
I don't know, but that's what they did when I got my affiliate link. So it's all good.
It'll lead them there. It's just
trying to remember it if it's long and type it into some place. It's like,
right.
What?
Well, luckily, most people can copy or click on it, or So
right.
That hasn't been a problem.
For you, if you wanted to enter it somewhere else, it's like when you go to try to build your website.
Right.
I had gotten a Google domain. I was telling Andy this. And Squarespace bought it out. So I have Squarespace, and I created the website using that domain as the website. And I built what I did on my own. And Andy says, you did a good job, but he's trying to help me fine tune it, but he doesn't know Squarespace. So I've got him stumped. He said, but you did good. James said, or use a QR code.
Yeah.
If you notice, I have no number by name. You can change it for YouTube. Yeah, you can change your YouTube name for sure.
Yeah, that's easy.
I could get rid of 3839 if I wanted to. It's like everything else is just my name, whether it's Facebook. My website is cindydemanch.com. It's like the domain name is separate from the web host. You can have a different domain registrar and a web host on a separate server. I ain't that tech savvy, James.
Yeah, me either.
You're speaking Greek now.
I need a administrative assistant for these things.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Cindy and Lindy. That's not going to get old. You know that?
I know.
That's pretty good. But yeah, it's a feat to have built a website to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, James is very tech savvy, and that's what he does. He does IT work, I believe.
Yeah.
So does Amy, Rocking It Keto Amy, Rocking It, something like that. And she is after me because I have a camera that I have not used yet. She said, I would kill to have that camera. I'm like,
yeah, I just use my phone.
I use my phone. That's it. I record on my phone. I record on my phone. I edit on my phone. I put everything up through Dropbox, pull it out of Dropbox on my computer to put it on YouTube.
I film on my phone, I edit on my phone, and then I upload it to the YouTube app from my phone.
Mm-hmm. Steph, exposing darkness, late again. That's okay.
Better late than never.
Yes. That's how come me and Amy get along. Yep. Yo, my guy, Matt Franklin in the house. Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy's he's going to help with that. He's also said he would help with my grandson. So that's good.
That's awesome.
That's no excuse. That's like having a Ninja Creamy and not using it. Yeah, I don't know who the heck does that, Karen.
I don't have one of those either.
She has one. It's still in the box.
I just don't have the space for one right now.
Word.
I have too many other gadgets. I mean, I have 2 Instapots. I've got, I've got lots of other things in it. My air fryer, and they take up space.
Need to have your husband build you shelves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just redid my counter because I've got a rack for like when we actually have to wash any dishes instead of putting them on a towel. I bought a little rack thing. It's a 2-tier rack. So I had to move my Instant Pot over, and I just got a NutriBullet blender, as it has the speed thing like a Vitamix, but like a fraction of the cost of a Vitamix, and it works great.
Oh, I'll have to look at that, because I have a NutriBullet that it works pretty well, but my Ninja blender is on its last leg, so I really need
mine was too. In fact, when you use those cups that come with the Ninja blender, they were leaking.
Oh, okay. Thanks,
and
Andy.
I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah, if you need help with stuff too, let me know. I'm learning this Squarespace stuff for Cindy. FYI, Wix is better. Ha ha.
Yeah, I just need to know about shortening that thing, and well, yeah, I don't know. Someday I'll build a website. But the other thing I need to figure out is my YouTube channel is connected to the Google account, my work Google account for the church, and I've been wanting to figure out how to put it, separate that, put a different Google account for my YouTube channel, but it's just so complicated doing anything like that.
Google is a stickler too. I just went through hoops after getting monetized and doing AdSense stuff. It's like, I guess I had an AdSense. I had already signed up for an AdSense account for something else. And once you have one, you have to stick with that one.
Mm.
And I was trying through the email that I used through YouTube, and it was a big conglomerate mess. It's finally straightened out. It was crazy. I'm like, this is nuts.
I'm just not very tech savvy. Yeah. Well, my husband calls me, the paleontologist that's in Jurassic Park, and every time he touches the computer, something happens. he calls me that all the time because he's like, you just don't touch it. Just
here you go. Unfortunately, once you attach an email to a YouTube channel, it stays on forever.
Yeah, so what happens if I don't work there anymore, though? That's the thing. I need to figure something out.
Now, I have YouTube is with my one Gmail address, email. But if I want people to contact me, I use a different Gmail. That's what is posted in my description of my videos. That Gmail is what I use for YouTube. But to get into YouTube with Google, it's my other Gmail. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I just created another Gmail just for me, for people to contact me through YouTube if they want to come on or whatever.
Yeah.
You can change the channel name all you want.
I know.
You might want to try YouTube troubleshooting, but from what I've seen, it can't be changed.
Yeah.
Well,
I've looked up a few things I've seen about it, but yeah. I don't understand why. I think that's dumb.
That would mean that it's 2 separate Google accounts. Are you talking about mine, James? Because I have 2 different Gmails. And I'm cool with that. I don't care. And Google and I have made friends. They don't bug me anymore. Yep. So I'm good. I'm good. I got everything squared away. It took a lot. It was a headache, but I got it.
Oh.
So if anybody came to you, we've been on this about an hour and a half now.
Okay.
If anybody came to you and asked you your thoughts on the different ways of eating, and since you've been through many of them, like a lot of us have,
Mm-hmm.
what would you tell them about how to start to
How to
get
start
healthy?
keto? People that I have helped, I tell them to start with baby steps. Like especially if they're coming off of the standard American diet, I'll tell them, first just to get rid of all the sugar in your house, and then, the next week do and also throw out all the processed foods and all that stuff. But I'll say, baby step that, and then add in, counting your carbs, watching, pulling out those carby vegetables out or whatever, and other carbs out of your diet. Because I feel like sometimes people are like, I could never do keto because it's just too, too
restrictive.
But I feel like if I baby step them into it, some people can go just cold turkey and do it, just start doing it, and they're fine. But there's other people that it's just too much change at once and too much thinking. I also tell people the first month or two that they're doing it, not to make fancy recipes. Just eat meat and low carb vegetables and good fats. And don't try to go on Pinterest and make all these things. Just eat. And then you can, once you kind of get in the flow, start looking for recipes, I think, because otherwise people get overwhelmed,
Yeah. I went probably 90 days without eating any of the sweets or making any of the sweet recipes or anything. And I'm a sweet eater. I definitely have a sweet tooth. And it was like, for me, because I had him and hauled about it for 3 months, listening to my sister, I went cold turkey, straight up, under 20 total carbs, right off the bat. Never had the keto flu. It was like, it was easy for me. But I had that time to prepare myself for what I wanted to do, and the determination was there, and I just ran with it. And it was like, and I know a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah.
That would make it, nope, I'm out, can't do it.
Yeah. And I think some people, like, also I tell them, sometimes at first people are a little more dirty keto sometimes because they're so addicted to sweets and snacks and all those things. So to me, if they're swapping out, Little Debbie snack cake for Chalk Zero or something like that, I'd rather them do that at the first, especially at first, rather than depriving themselves of everything and then they just go binge.
Well, yeah, because you feel like you've given up everything.
Yeah.
At one point, it's like, holy cow, I can't have this, I can't have this, I can't have this, I can't have this.
Mm-hmm.
How is this ever going to work?
Right.
And that's it's a legitimate concern, because you do give up a lot.
You do, yeah. Is she asking, did I ever track? I do track. I track every day, even on carnivore, because I like to try to hit my protein goal. But when I first started keto, I did not track it first, probably not for a few months. I just ate, like I just had said, I ate meat, low carb vegetables, good fats, ate till I was full. I'd add more fat if I was hungry to my meals or whatever. But I didn't track in the beginning. I didn't start tracking probably till maybe 6 months in, because I realized when you're a certain age, you need to track sometimes, especially people like me with a messed up metabolism.
Right.
But yeah, I track now. I track every day.
Now I did every day for probably the first 3.5 years. I just recently started not to. And there's still times where I will go in and I'll take weeks at a time and I'll just start throwing everything in there that I'm eating just to see where it's at.
Yeah, it keeps me accountable to myself because then I'm not like eyeballing everything. I feel like if I eyeballed everything all the time, I would probably overeat,
My motto that I have followed for 20 years is no bread, potato, pasta, rice, and sugar. Way back when there were no subs, but now there is. Yep, there's plenty of substitutes now.
Oh, yeah.
Mary was super strict for 2 years. I pretty much was. I mean, I did the, it took 23 months to lose 100 pounds.
Yeah, it took me 2 years to lose the 80.
Yeah, I was good with that because I was seeing it, but then it gets like, is this ever going to get here? Especially when you hit that, when you're almost 300 pounds and you want to see the 1 in the beginning number and get that 100 mark on a scale. I thought I was going to lose my mind until it got there.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't seen that for, oh my God, forever. It took me trying an egg fast to be able to reduce my carbs under 20 at first. I love egg fast.
I haven't done one in a long time.
I did a 7-day one a couple months ago. That was great, except not enough protein. Jerry, fasting in the middle of the forest for 40 days. I'm listening, can't watch at work. Well, I'm glad you're with us. Rick is leaving. Good night, Rick.
Good night.
I know I need to start tracking again. Yeah, Nan, if you're having trouble, that's an eye opener.
I have a friend that she doesn't really want to track. I'm kind of coaching her, and I told her, even if you just write it down on a notebook, just to kind of give yourself an idea of what you've eaten, it kind of helps.
Yep. Keep a journal. How do you know how much protein you need?
I'm doing 1 gram, like whatever your goal weight is. Say your goal is 150 pounds, then you want to shoot for 150 around of protein, grams of protein.
When I got to the point where I spit, okay, why did you spit? When I got to the point, I don't know here, felt like I was taking so long. I would remind myself the time will go by anyway. It's true.
That's true.
But I don't know why you're spitting, Mary. That's not nice. Jerry, so once I get my body healed this year, 2 right leg surgeries, 3rd surgery was a spinal fusion. May 1st, I will be getting a new hip. Lindy, do you think I'll be able to do 75 hard after healing?
Oh, yeah. And with 75 hard, there are all kinds of levels of fitness of people that do it. You don't have to do like super intense workouts. You can walk, you can do yoga. It doesn't have to be anything like, CrossFit or anything like that, unless you want to do those things. I mean, you want to challenge yourself. So if you're walking, you want to either add more miles on, or you could wear a weighted vest to make it harder, things like that. But you don't have to, especially if you're healing from something like that, you don't want to be doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But yeah, I think you could do it.
Yeah, take those cold showers too.
Yeah, that'll heal that hip.
My ex-husband was a chef who was not keto in any way. I stopped dancing, but did not change the way I ate. Gained a ton of weight. 30-year high school reunion motivated me to lost 90 pounds. That's
awesome.
Great, Sherry. Not spit from autocorrect.
I love autocorrect, Mary. Mary's
out there spitting. Oh, goodness. Anyway, I think it's about time to call this a night.
Yeah,
I don't
we're
want to
having
take up any
fun.
more of your time. What,
Well, it's been
Lindy?
fun.
I thank you so, so much for coming on. I need
I
to switch
I had
these
a great
banners
time.
and thank my members. Some are here, some are not, some were here, some may be gone. It's okay. It's all good. But I appreciate everybody. Everybody in the chat, thank you for spending a Friday night with us.
Yeah, thanks,
And
guys.
And Lindy, thank you so much. It was great to get to meet you a couple years ago, but to
Yeah,
really get to know more about you tonight was fantastic. And I really appreciate you coming on
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
anytime. Quit smoking, gain back some of that weight. I have 20 pounds to lose. If I do okay, if I don't,
No
no
biggie.
biggie. That's right. That exactly. Just don't go back to smoking. Have a great night, ladies. Talk soon. Yes, you will, Andy. Thank you both. Thank you, Kay. Kay is
Thank
going to be on with me next Friday.
Oh, awesome.
Amy, thank you, ladies. Good night. So glad I caught you. Love you, ladies. Love you too, Mary.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Jerry says, thank you for answering her question. Thank you again, Cindy, for the keto chow. You are the best. Nah, like I told you, it was done for me. So I just repaid that.
Pass it on. Yeah.
That's right. But anyway, everybody have a good night. Thank you, Karen, for all the hearts. I love you too. And I will see you Wednesday with Brian and next Friday with Carnivore K. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Hang out, Lindy, for a minute.
Okay.